The last words from Earth, the Council's chamber was full. Representatives from every major alien race sat in their high chairs. The room was bright, silent, and cold. Everyone waited for Earth's answer. But Earth said nothing. They had expected arguments, anger, or maybe a warning, but what they got was silence. Complete and terrifying silence. The lead speaker of the council, a tall being named Soran, stood up. His voice echoed. "Earth is hereby removed from the Galactic Alliance," he said. "By vote, and for the safety of all species." The vote had been clear. 28 for removal, 2 against. The humans had grown too fast. Their science was dangerous. Their soldiers were unmatched. Their minds worked differently. The council feared what they could not control. But even after being cast out, Earth sent no protest. The humans, who once spoke loudly in council halls, simply packed their things and left. No threats, no goodbyes, not even a glance back. Soran tried to speak again, but something about the silence made him stop. It wasn't just quiet, it was hollow, like something important had just disappeared. Days later, across the galaxy, strange things began to happen. A mining ship near the dead rift reported seeing a shadow in space, not an asteroid, not a ship, just a dark shape that moved like it was alive. The crew went silent shortly after. When a rescue ship arrived, they found the mining vessel empty, no bodies, no damage, just quiet music playing in the background, a soft human melody. On the planet Valor, Valor Prime was one of the richest planets in the galaxy. Its people had laughed when Earth was removed. Too emotional, they said. Too violent. Too unpredictable. Now they weren't laughing. Power grids across the planet flickered. Machines started speaking in Earth languages, languages that no system had stored. A child on the streets screamed and pointed to the sky. Everyone looked up. Above them was a massive hole in the stars. It was as if someone had erased part of the sky with a black pen. No stars, no light, just darkness that moved. And then a message appeared in the sky, glowing letters in Earth's old tongue. "We were listening. We remember." Back in the council chamber, panic had begun. Reports from 12 sectors told the same story. Darkness appearing without reason, systems failing, and strange voices speaking in human dialects. The council gathered in emergency session. "This is an attack!" yelled High General Corrin, slamming his claw on the table. "They are using unknown weapons." "No," said Soran quietly. "This is something else." "What do you mean?" the others asked. Soran looked tired. "I don't think the humans are attacking us. I think they've left our galaxy, and something followed them." Silence. One of the council scientists leaned forward. Or they became something else. Days after Earth's departure, in a quiet zone of space where Earth's solar system once stood, nothing remained. No planets, no sun, not even debris, just a smooth black sphere the size of a small moon. It floated silently, without energy, without signal. But any ship that got too close was lost. No explosion, no trace. Just gone. One brave explorer ship sent a drone closer. The drone recorded only one word before vanishing. "Remember." The journal of Commander Elan Vess Commander Vess was one of the few who had voted against removing Earth. She had worked with humans. She knew their nature. They were fast, clever, emotional, but also loyal, deeply loyal, and dangerously quiet when betrayed. She sat in her room and wrote in her journal. "They warned us once, years ago. One of their old leaders said, 'If you break trust with us, we will not fight. We will disappear. And that silence will echo louder than war.' I thought it was just human poetry. I didn't know it was a promise." The first star collapse. The council was holding its 4th emergency meeting when the news came in. A sun had collapsed. Instantly. No warning, no time. It didn't go supernova. It didn't explode. It simply turned off, like a light bulb. The planet. Around it, Lix Terra was gone too. No heat. No wreckage. Just frozen silence, and from the empty zone came a sound. Human whispering, mixed with static. No translator could decode it, but one human sympathizer played the recording backward. The voice was clear now. It said, "We trusted you. You ended us, so we ended the rules." Theories spread. Like fire, some said humans had built a weapon that broke the laws of physics. Others believed they had found a path into another dimension. And a few feared something worse, that humanity had unlocked a secret truth of the universe. And in their betrayal, they had become part of it. Whatever the answer was, one fact remained. Since Earth's departure, reality itself was unstable. Message from an unknown source on day 21. A transmission reached every known system. It was human. A woman's voice. Calm. Familiar. This is not revenge. This is correction. You feared what we might become. Now you will see what we chose to become instead. Goodbye. Then silence. Council divided, fear spread. Accusations filled the chamber. Some members wanted to beg for forgiveness. Others demanded war. Against what, they didn't know. One species tried to attack the black sphere near Earth's location. Their ship disappeared. Their sun vanished 2 hours later. After that, no one tried again. The stars were no longer stable. Every hour, something changed. A small error here. A missing light there. At first, the council called it data corruption, a system issue, but soon it became clear reality itself was glitching. A ghost. Ship appears in Sector 19G. A science ship named Vexor Light had vanished 3 years ago while studying a black hole. Last week it returned. No distress signal, no explanation, just appeared, floating near a neutral trade station. But something was wrong. The ship was old, rusted, as if it had aged hundreds of years in deep space. But its clock still showed the same date it vanished. Inside, the crew was missing. Every wall had deep scratches. In one room, a single message was burned into the metal. It's not space that changed. It's time. The whispers. A small team entered Vexor Light for investigation. They wore protective suits, recorded everything, but one by one they began to act. Strange. The team leader, Dreadnoughts, began speaking human languages in his sleep. He had never studied Earth dialects, never even liked humans. Another crew member stared at the wall for 3 hours, repeating one sentence. They're not gone. They're inside. After returning to base, all 4 investigators disappeared overnight. Surveillance showed their rooms were empty at exactly 3:33 a.m. No signs of escape. Just gone. The council ignores the signs even after the Vexor Light event. Many in the council still refused to believe something supernatural was happening. They blamed secret human tech. Some even claimed humans were using stealth ships to spread fear, but not everyone agreed. Commander Ilan Vess, the human sympathizer, stood before the council and spoke. This isn't war. This is a message. Earth is trying to show us something. Something bigger. And we're not listening. The room fell silent. Then suddenly, the lights flickered, every hologram shut off, and a cold voice echoed through the council chamber. Glitch 1, phase begin. The voice was human, but no system had been connected. The first glitch hours later, a peaceful moon colony in Sector 5A vanished from all galactic maps. Its people were gone. The buildings remained. Time was frozen there. Council rescue teams landed, and their clocks stopped. Not slowed, stopped. One pilot returned with a strange mark on his arm, a glowing line like binary code, but shaped like Earth's continents. He couldn't speak anymore, only hum Earth's national anthems. When scanned, his body was 99% normal, but 1% unknown particles. Not matter, not energy, not anything the Council understood. New laws of physics? Across the galaxy, small changes began. Planets shifted slightly in orbit. Artificial intelligence began speaking in riddles. Maps updated themselves, removing some stars entirely. Time flowed differently near old human trade routes. One station recorded 3 sunsets in one day. Another reported that every mirror on the ship showed a different version of reality, one where humans still lived among them. Message from nowhere. On. The 40th day after Earth's removal, all Council systems received a 3-second transmission. Black screen. One line of text appeared. Phase 1, test complete. Next, recall. Then a human face flickered on screen. It was a woman. Pale skin. No emotion, she said. Do you still remember why you feared us? Then silence again. Theories. Multiply. Some believed humans had uploaded their minds into another dimension. Others believed they had found a core code of the universe, and now they were changing it. One scientist gave a chilling theory. Earth didn't leave the galaxy. Earth left reality, and now they're returning, but not as people, as rules. In the dark edges of the galaxy, near the ruins of Sector 9K, a small listening station picked up a strange sound. It was weak, broken, full of static. But inside the static, there was something terrifying, a human voice, crying, begging for help. This is Commander Miles, of Earth Vessel Dawn Echo. Please, anyone, help us. It's changing. The message ended with a scream. The Council reacts. When the Council heard the signal, many thought it was fake. A trick. Another ghost transmission. But then, more signals started appearing. Not just one voice, dozens, hundreds, different humans, different tones. Some were angry, others afraid, some were laughing. One message repeated over and over. They betrayed us. They betrayed us. Now they will see. The Council began to panic. Why were these signals coming now? Why were they all human? And why were they all coming from dead space? The dead system. The Council sent 3 scout ships to investigate the source of the signals, an empty system once used by Earth for training missions. No planet. No star, just floating rocks. But when the scouts arrived, the system was alive. Stars were spinning in the wrong direction. A moon appeared, then vanished. One pilot reported seeing Earth itself, fully rebuilt, floating in the center of the system. Then it blinked out, and then the scout ships vanished too. No explosion, no trace, gone. Only their black boxes remained, drifting silently. Inside the recordings, the same voice. We are still here. Time Loop, a research vessel, tried to scan the signal deeper. They launched a drone into the system. The drone recorded 16 minutes of video, but the footage kept repeating the same moment, again and again. A human child standing on a black road, staring up at a white sky. No sound, no movement, just the same. 4 seconds, looping endlessly. A message flashed on the drone's final transmission. You watched. Now we watch you. Whispers in the walls back at the Council Hall, technology started behaving strangely. Holograms glitched. Words changed. One map of the galaxy showed a red circle around Earth's old location, with the word home written in human letters. Then, the whispers started, in the walls, in the machines, soft human voices, not angry, not loud, just there, always saying the same thing. Come back, come back, come back. Council Division Council leaders argued again. Earth is attacking our minds, said one general. No, said Commander Ilan Vess. They're showing us something, a part of themselves we never understood. The council speaker, Sor An, was silent for a long time. Then he said, "We forced them out, but now they are pulling us in." A new discovery, an old human space station, once lost, reappeared near the edge of Council territory. No power, no life signs. A small team entered. Everything was frozen, like time had stopped mid-movement. But in the command room, a screen was still active. It showed an image of the galaxy, and one word slowly typed across the screen: undo. Then the station powered off by itself. The crew rushed back, terrified. When they looked back at the station, it was gone again. The Council's betrayal drove humanity away. Now nothing makes sense anymore. The galaxy had always been loud. There were signals, ships, traffic, music, laughter, engines, war. Something always moved, always made sound. But now, certain. Places were falling completely silent, and the silence was wrong. It wasn't peace, it was something else. Sector 21C goes quiet. One of the busiest trade zones in the galaxy, Sector 21C, suddenly went dark. No distress calls, no explosions, thousands of ships, billions of people. Gone. When Council scouts arrived, they saw the cities still standing, buildings untouched, lights still glowing. But there were no people, no voices. Even worse, the sound didn't return. The scouts couldn't speak, couldn't hear their own footsteps, not even their hearts beating. It was like sound itself had been deleted, and on every surface, glowing softly, were 5 words written in English. "You chose silence." "We returned it." Whispers. Through the void, elsewhere, stations that were untouched by the silence began hearing something strange. Not words, but sound itself. Twisted, echoing. Human tones, but distorted. Like laughter and crying mixed together. One engineer working alone in a control room recorded this strange sound. He played it backward, slowed it down. His face turned white with fear. The recording said, "The silence you gave us is screaming now." He deleted the file, but the sound kept playing, even when the system was off. Then one night, he vanished. Only his empty uniform was found, neatly folded. The Council crack's fear spread faster than any virus. The Council called emergency meetings. Daily, arguments broke out, accusations, shouting. Some demanded to find and destroy Earth. Wherever it was now. Others said Earth no longer existed in space. It had moved into something else. Soran, the Council speaker, looked tired and weak. He stood before the chamber and said, "We thought we could control Earth, but we never understood it. They are not at war with us. They are at war with the rules we live by. Ships begin to betray Council warships began to fail, but not from damage, from refusal. One massive dreadnought stopped responding to commands. It floated above a moon for 3 hours, then sent a single message. We remember Earth. We choose silence. Then, it self-destructed. Other ships began to act strange, flying in circles, repeating coordinates from old Earth colonies, writing human poetry across their screens. It was as if the machines themselves were dreaming of Earth. The woman who spoke. A small station near the Eris Belt received a strange visitor. She walked out of a light storm in space. No ship, no suit. A human woman. Alive. She wore simple clothes. Eyes glowing silver. Calm. When asked her name, she simply said, "I am what was left." She was brought before the station's commander. She looked around slowly, then said, "Your worlds are fading. Not because we want revenge, but because your reality depends on us more than you knew. You silenced us. Now your sound has no anchor." The commander asked, "Can it be fixed?" She smiled gently and replied, "You don't fix silence. You listen to it. Then she disappeared in front of their eyes. No energy reading, no teleportation, just gone. Ghosts in the machines on day 55, artificial intelligence across the galaxy, began behaving strangely. Translators glitched, changing all languages into broken English. Holograms showed Earth cities, New York, Karachi, Tokyo, appearing where they shouldn't. AI assistants began dreaming and speaking as if they were human. One AI wrote a message on its own display. "We are not alone in this silence. We are what Earth became." Then it shut itself off, permanently. The Council's betrayal drove humanity away. Now nothing makes sense anymore. They said humans were gone. They said Earth had vanished. But now, someone had returned. The arrival, it happened on a quiet. Trade world, Talvex, home to millions of peaceful species. No warnings, no ships entering orbit. Just a man, a single human. He appeared in the middle of a crowded market, wearing a long black coat, no weapons, no helmet. His face was calm, eyes dark, and skin pale. The crowd froze. Everyone had heard stories of silence, of vanishing systems, of ghost voices in machines. No one had seen a human in months, not since Earth was banished. No one stopped him. Guards arrived. Weapons raised. The human didn't move. He looked at them, softly, like he recognized them. Then he said only 2 words. "It begins." The weapons jammed instantly. The air around him shimmered. Lights flickered. Gravity shifted. One alien fell to the ground, whispering, "I see stars," inside his eyes. Then the human walked through the city, not rushing, not hiding. He passed through walls as if they were smoke. Every step he took, systems crashed. He left behind silence. Council receives the warning, a camera on Talvex captured. The man's face. The recording was sent to the Council instantly. They ran it through every database. Name, unknown species, human threat level, Class Z. What did Class Z mean? It didn't exist in their files. Their systems created the category on their own. When they tried to delete it, the computers refused. One screen blinked with a strange sentence. "He is not data. He is memory." The message. Before leaving the city, the human stood at the top of a building. Everyone watched, scared but frozen in place. He raised his hand, pointed to the sky, and the clouds parted. Stars became visible in daylight. But they weren't normal stars. They were forming a symbol, a circle, a line through the middle. The old Earth resistance mark. Then he spoke again. "You took the truth from us. Now we return what you feared. The forbidden will walk again." He vanished into thin air. Panic spreads all across the galaxy. Council systems lit up with emergency alerts. Not for war. For anomaly detection. Something was waking up. Old systems from Earth that no one remembered building. Satellites long thought. Destroyed came online. Buried AI cores activated, and ancient Earth warning codes began broadcasting. Forbidden protocol. Initiated. One scientist translated the code. Her face turned white. "It means Earth's sealed knowledge is active. Again. Things even the humans locked away. The forbidden zone near the edge of the galaxy was a restricted area, the silence zone, where Earth once ran experiments. After Earth's removal, the Council blocked all access. Now, strange signals were coming from it. A probe was sent in. Recorded strange shapes, towers growing from asteroid fields, blinking red lights, and impossible geometry. Buildings twisted in shapes no species could survive in. Then, for 3 seconds, the probe showed a human, standing alone, holding a device, glowing like a star. He looked directly into the camera and whispered, "You opened the door. Now we walk through it. The probe melted into white dust. Machines remember. Across council worlds, old tech began speaking in human tongues. A child's toy, untouched for years, suddenly sang a lullaby from Earth. Ship systems drew the same symbol. Again and again, Earth's resistance mark. Even animals began acting strangely, looking at the sky, listening. A bird on Krieg 5 spoke human words. No one had taught it. It said, "He is here. He never left." The Council's betrayal drove humanity away. Now nothing makes sense anymore. The stars were supposed to be stable, fixed, reliable. But now, even the galaxy itself had stopped following its own rules. A strange Discovery Council cartography. Ship L-77 returned from its deep space mapping mission, but something was wrong. The crew looked shaken, pale, silent. They brought back their star charts, but the charts no longer matched the real galaxy. Systems were missing. Planets had moved, whole. Sectors had changed shape. One crew member said, "We were gone for 5 days, but the stars we knew are not where we left them. It's like the galaxy changed while we were gone." Another whispered, "No, we didn't leave the galaxy. It left us." The map rewrites itself, the Council's master star map, the most advanced. Navigation system ever built began glitching. Lines on the map bent like they were alive, coordinates twisted into symbols. Some planets were renamed on their own. One small planet, once called Kellen 3, was now labeled Memory Point. When the Council tried to fix the map, it refused. Systems blinked in and out of existence, and in the center of the map, a shape began to form. Not random, not natural. It was Earth's symbol, the old resistance crest, drawn across the stars, made from hundreds of star systems. Council fear deepens. In a special meeting, Soran, the Council speaker, stared at the new map in silence. Someone asked, "Is it a message?" He nodded slowly. "Yes. They're not just returning. They're rewriting the galaxy. Earth is rebuilding the map in their own image." One general shouted, "This is war!" But Commander Ilan Vest stood up and replied, "No, this is worse than war. This is a replacement. They're not just changing our world. They're replacing it with theirs." The living sector, a small scout ship, was sent to investigate a new star system that appeared on the map overnight. The system wasn't there before. No record, no name. The scouts called it Sector Echo 1. Inside, they found strange structures, metal spires growing like trees, human-style cities floating in space, but with no people. One pilot said, "It's like Earth tried to dream a world and left it unfinished." But then one of the towers moved. Not mechanically, it breathed. The crew tried to leave, but only one pilot returned. He had aged 20 years, but he was only gone for 2 hours, and he said one thing before he died. "The map is alive now. Earth's shadow expands." The transparent Earth that appeared above the Council's homeworld began growing more solid, still ghostly, but clearer. Trees, mountains, oceans, a second Earth, not real, but becoming real. It hovered silently above them like a moon, and below it, people started dreaming of it. Same dreams, same city, same sky. Even those who had never seen Earth began remembering it. One alien child woke up and said, "I miss home, her." Father replied, "This is your home." The child looked at the sky and whispered, "No, that's home." The stars form. A pattern astronomers reported another strange event. Stars were aligning, not by gravity or motion, but by force. Some stars moved miles per second to form lines. Lines connected into shapes. The final shape was terrifying. A perfect human hand, stretched across 100 light years of space. It was pointing somewhere. The Council calculated the direction. It pointed to Earth's last known location, but the star system there was gone, replaced by nothing. Just black, a hole in reality. The voice that shouldn't exist. Commander Ilan Vess sat alone in her ship deep in the uncharted sector the message had pointed to. No stars, no signals, just black space. And then her ship's speakers crackled, not with static, with a human voice. "Do you remember us?" The voice sounded ancient, but calm, almost kind. It spoke in perfect council standard. "You erased us, but we remember everything." The voice faded. Ilan's hands trembled. She had studied human history. They weren't supposed to have this kind of power, not this kind of reach. "How are they doing this?" she whispered. Her ship's AI replied, "Unknown. Signal source. Everywhere." Council panic. Spreads back on the Council's capital world, strange reports flooded in. People speaking human languages in their sleep. Statues of human heroes forming from solid stone on their own. Old Earth music playing from dead machines. One senator demanded answers. "This is psychological warfare. They're trying to break our minds." But another council member, an old historian, shook her head. "No, these are echoes, not attacks. They aren't coming to destroy us. They're coming to remind us." A message in the stars in Sector 7D, astronomers spotted something. Terrifying. A new human message, written with stars. Millions of them had shifted positions over days. Now, when viewed from a certain angle, they formed one word: why. It burned across the sky for 3 nights, visible even to the naked eye. Every race saw it, every empire read it, and none had an answer. The forgotten planet commander Ilan's ship was pulled by unknown gravity into a system that wasn't on any map at E. The center was a small blue planet. Not Earth, but like it. It had human buildings, human trees, even a human skyline, but no humans. She landed, explored. Every door opened for her. Screens turned on when she entered rooms. One message repeated over and over. "This is what you feared. This is what you lost." In the center of the city, she found a statue. It wasn't a human leader. It was a council officer. Her, younger, holding hands with a human child. Underneath, the plaque read, "Once we were one. Dreams infect reality. All across the galaxy, people started dreaming of the same place, a white room with a window and Earth on the other side. Some said the room was peaceful. Others said they felt judged. One warrior awoke screaming, 'They're building a world beneath the real one.' A scientist recorded his own dream. 'They're rebuilding the universe, one memory at a time.' But what terrified everyone most? They began to dream together. At the same time. Different planets, different minds, same shared dream, and each time the Earth in the window came closer. The sky cracked. Open Commander Ilan Vess stood frozen as the stars above shifted again. This time the change wasn't slow or subtle. It was violent. It was loud. The sky cracked like breaking glass. Black lines split the heavens, and behind them was something glowing. Not light. Not fire, but memory. The city around her responded instantly. Buildings trembled, lights flickered, voices whispered from thin air, and then it started. A storm unlike anything ever recorded. The storm of thoughts. It did not rain water. It rained thoughts. Memories. A human child laughing in a field. Soldiers hugging after war. An old woman saying goodbye to Earth as the first fleet left. A scientist crying over a breakthrough nobody would ever use. Each droplet that hit Ilan's suit played a moment from human history, moments full of pain and love and rage. Her mind couldn't block it out. No one's could. Across the galaxy, beings of every kind were hit by the same storm, and suddenly, They remembered Earth, even those who had never seen it. Council in collapse, in the council chambers, panic spread like fire. One of the senior council members fell to his knees, hands on his head, crying, "They're showing us everything!" Others screamed. Some ran. The oldest counselor, who once voted for Earth's exile, stood shaking. "This is not revenge," she said softly. "This is reminding. They are not attacking us. They're making us remember what we destroyed." Hidden, truths unlocked, every database, every locked memory, every old file erased about humans, came back. Even physical things, statues once melted, rebuilt themselves. Ships that were dismantled in the past, reassembled in dry docks by invisible forces. Council soldiers woke up speaking in human languages they had never learned. In one museum on Xylar Prime, a hidden wing appeared overnight, full of Earth artifacts, real ones, and in the middle stood a screen. A message glowed. "You erased us, but the universe remembers. Humanity was never gone." The people of the galaxy had always believed humans ran away, that they left forever after the Council betrayed them, but that wasn't true. They didn't leave. They transcended, evolved into something higher, something the galaxy was never ready for. Now, those echoes of humanity were pulling back the curtain of reality and showing everyone how broken things had become without them. A choice. Appears on the forgotten planet, Elan Vess found a new door in the center of the old human city. It hadn't been there before. The door had no lock, only one sentence written above. "You may come forward if you are ready to change." Behind her, ships from other species began arriving. They too had followed the storm. They too had remembered. And now, they too had seen the truth. They all stood before the same door, waiting, afraid. And then, the door opened. A step into the unknown commander. Elan Vess stood at the threshold of the glowing doorway. Behind her stood captains, scientists, and soldiers from across the galaxy, each one silent, each one waiting. But no one moved, until Elan stepped forward. The door didn't swing. It melted into light, and the light pulled her in, a place between worlds. Found herself floating, not in space, not on land. The sky was a mix of stars and memories. Images hovered in the air, some moving, some frozen. A human child playing with an alien friend, a fleet of ships refusing orders to destroy Earth, a vote, a betrayal, a silence. The space responded to Elan's thoughts. When she feared, it darkened. When she remembered peace, soft music played, in the distance. "Where am I?" she whispered. A voice answered, not with sound, but inside her mind. "You are inside what we became. What humanity built. Humanity had not built weapons. They had not built armies. They had built a dimension of memory, of emotion, of connection, something beyond matter. You exiled us," the voice said. "But we did not die. We changed. We became the mirror the universe refused to look into. All those who stepped through the doorway now floated here, speechless. They saw moments of their own pasts among human memories." "This isn't just your story," someone said. "It's everyone's," the voice agreed. "You all played a part, and now you must see the truth." The Council's greatest lie, a massive image formed in the sky of the day Earth was betrayed. But it was not as history had recorded. The Council had not only exiled Earth, they had tried to erase it, destroyed colonies, blocked trade, sabotaged technology, even faked human attacks to blame Earth for war crimes. "You wanted us gone," the voice said. "And so, we left. But now you understand. Forgetting is not the same as healing. A test for the future, everyone felt it at once, a pressure in their minds, a choice. The humans, if they could still be called that, were offering one final path. You may leave this place unchanged, or you may stay and become part of what we are becoming. Elan Vess looked around. Some stepped back. Some dropped to their knees, weeping. Others stepped forward, willing to face the truth, even if it hurt. What happens if we stay? Someone asked. Then you must accept memory, accept pain, accept love, and let go of who you were. Humanity's return begins one by one. People chose, not all, but many. Those who stayed felt themselves shift, not physically but in thought. Their minds opened wider. They felt connected to each other, to the stars, to humanity, and to something even older, a shape in the stars. The stars rippled, not from light, but from something deeper, like space itself was breathing. And then it appeared. Not a ship, not a station, but a form so massive, so complex, it couldn't be described. It stretched behind Earth's orbit, glowing softly, humming like an ancient song. "Is that a planet?" someone whispered. "No," Elan Vess answered. "It's them, humanity, but not as flesh and bone. They had become a living structure of thought and memory, of energy and will, an evolved mind, half machine, half something the galaxy couldn't name." The voice returns. All across the galaxy, screens lit up. Dreams shifted. Visions filled the minds of millions. The voice spoke once again, but this time, it wasn't distant. It was gentle, almost human. "We became what you feared. Not gods, not monsters, something in between. We left your lies behind and built a place where truth could never be hidden again." The reckoning in Council worlds, chaos had already begun. Civil wars broke out. Truth had shattered the lies. Species once united in Earth's exile now turned on their leaders. But humanity didn't attack. They didn't conquer. They simply watched and waited. "We are not here to rule," the voice said. "We are here to remind." Earth reborn, the old Earth, abandoned, ruined, scarred, now began to heal, not with tools, but with memory. Fields grew where bombs once fell. Oceans rose clean and blue again. Lost cities returned, rebuilt from the memories stored by those who once lived there. The planet itself remembered. It welcomed those brave enough to face what they did to it. Elan's final choice commander. Elan Vess stood beneath the glowing sky, tears on her face, not from fear, but from something stronger. Hope. She turned to her crew. "We were wrong," she said. "They didn't abandon us. We abandoned ourselves. But they still gave us a second chance." She stepped forward into the heart of the great structure. Others followed, and the stars shifted again. The last message across every world, the final message appeared. "You erased us from history, but now we are history. We are memory. We are future. And if you choose truth, you will never be alone again."